After what was a dramatic midweek in the Carabao Cup, league football returns, and we at the Nutmeg were excited about it. My name is Solomon Fo, and welcome to the Nutmeg on Guardian TV. Timilayi Omilano joins us again in the studio. It's been a while you were here. It's great to have you back.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be back.
Thank you so much. So, in that particular game between Arsenal and Liverpool in the midweek, that was the height of the drama in the Carabao Cup,
wow,
actually.
10 goals.
Yeah, it was phenomenal, and he ended in penalties. And you know, if you're an Arsenal fan, you wouldn't be thrilled about that particular game
exactly.
Because at some point Arsenal were leading 4-2, and they threw away the lead.
5-3, you know.
I think it was pretty much a summary of what Arsenal has been this season, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now the positive out of that game, as Mr. Wenger would say, was Mesut Ozil in that particular fixture.
Exactly.
You know, over the period that I was on the field of play, that was for 65 minutes, it was phenomenal. It was exceptional in that particular fixture. And it showed why Unai Emery needs to return him to that Arsenal side. Yeah. And now we're getting chatter about him returning to the side, probably starting or not, we're not so certain. But do you think Unai Emery will change his ways and bring us Mesut Ozil into that side when Arsenal faces Wolves on Saturday?
I would use Emery's word now. At the post-match conference, he said, Ozil was skillful, you know, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Ozil is a very, very skillful player in Arsenal. One of the most skillful players in Arsenal presently.
Yeah.
So I see him return to the squad because he proved himself. Under 65 minutes, for a player who has not played consistently this season, and then he came in and then he was
exactly. He has just 71 minutes of Premier League game under his belt this season. I think he has played just 2 or 3 games this season, and he just fits in like glove in hand.
Exactly. And then come to think of it, he didn't play with, you know, the regular start players. He didn't play with the Lacazette. He didn't play with all these Torreira who are as much as he skilled as he is. So you would want to say that for him to perform exceptionally well on Wednesday, you would say that, wow, he should return to that squad. Okay,
so the only problem or the pet peeve I have when it comes to Unai Emery is the fact that he seems wedded to his ways. You know, he could be saying something at this time, and he already knows what he wants to do. Now, seeing that you're going to be playing a pesky side in Wolves, and it's going to be a little difficult, maybe too gritty for Mesut Ozil. We know the quality he brings to this side. Do you think it's smart enough for him to be returning Ozil to this side, seeing that he needs to get some measure of control and some form of solidity when it comes to the midfield part and even the defense in that side?
Apart from getting the control in the midfield against Wolves, he needs the creativity, and that is what Ozil can give him on Saturday. He can give him that creativity in the midfield, and then, you know, try to push the forward, try to put your attackers forward, and then, you know, they have the goals. And then maybe sometimes in the 75th minute or about 70 minutes, it can still he can withdraw him again and then bring in someone who can
is much more solid in midfield,
who can seal the defense for him. And then I see Arsenal win that game with an Ozil. Well,
incredible, because Ozil, to be honest, on his day is one of the most impressive. One of the most impressive players when it comes to the attacking thought. His vision, his imagination, his precision is on an ethereal level, to be honest. So moving away from that, we're moving into another part of the Arsenal drama, because there was Xhaka drama against Crystal Palace, and just a couple of days ago he brought out this statement. He made this statement on social media, which seemed to some extent like an apology, although I'm going to be getting your thoughts on that if you feel it's a good enough apology. And this was what Xhaka said: my feeling of not being understood by fans and repeated abusive comments at matches and in social media over the last weeks and months have hurt me deeply. People have said things like, we will break your legs, kill your wife, and wish that your daughter gets cancer. Oof. That has stirred me up, and I reached boiling point when I felt the rejection in the stadium on Saturday. In this situation, I let myself be carried away and reacted in a way that disrespected the group of fans that supports our club, our team, and myself with positive energy. This is not my intention, and I'm sorry if that's what people thought. Now, do you think this is a good enough apology? Seeing that it's coming at this time, it wasn't facing TV, it doesn't carry that level of deep apology that you expect from someone that performed or acted in such a way to the fans. Now, do you think this is good enough?
Yeah, Solomon, it's good enough to some extent. Xhaka is a human being as well, you know, and then we have feelings, we have emotions. The only thing I see him done wrong here is because he shouldn't have allowed himself, you know, for what happened that last week. He should not have allowed it. This is not new in football, you know. This is not new that, okay, the fans will shout on the players. They are stakeholders for crying aloud. Fans are stakeholders when it comes to club business. So they've only poured out what they don't want. They've always told him, okay, this is what you're doing wrong. But then those words were wrong from the fans. So I think the two sides are wrong. But he has allowed himself as a professional player. He has been in Arsenal since 2016. He played 2016, played 2017, and well, he has been consistent, so to say. And then I wouldn't expect such from a player like him. He's 27 years old, and then, you know, he's old enough to, you know, absorb such such abuse words, and then it's least expected from a player like him.
Especially seeing that he's the captain of the side. Yeah. Let's say the team is going on the wrong path, there's a wrong patch, and the fans have reacted in the way that they have. I think it should be the one who corrals the team together, and probably takes a bit of the vitriol from the fans, and it takes it on, and it doesn't react in such a way that it did. But also, this does not absolve the fans when it comes to the whole situation on ground. You know, he said something that people have said things like, we will break your legs, kill your wife, that's wish that your daughter gets cancer. In fact, you tend to look at what sort of people are these when you wish these sort of things on footballers that give their best. The truth is, Xhaka is one person who always gives 101%. It might not be everyone's favorite footballer. It might be the one in the eye of the storm currently. But
in fact, I want to bring in the case of Jorginho and the Chelsea fans last season. You know, a whole lot was going around Jorginho. They don't want him. They bully him. And then, meanwhile, you know, the coach that brought him in, he plays him almost every game. And then the tension was so high. But now, look at what he's doing in Chelsea. He's the assistant captain, for crying out loud. He was the one that led the team to, you know, the loss against Man U like just 3 days ago. But then, what I'm just trying to say is that Jorginho in Chelsea has taken time to absorb, you know, all of those insults, has taken time to take in all those insultive words, all those bullies, all those things, and then now he's enjoying his stay in Chelsea. So I would expect such from Xhaka as well. Yes, those words were bad, those words were wrong, but then for a player in his caliber, he shouldn't have allowed himself to go through all those. So I would want to just suggest that, you know, as a team, the management of the club, I mean the Arsenal, and then they need to settle this. They need to settle it, because those words were not wrong. It were very, very wrong. So, well, I believe the football regulatory body should find a way around it, and then maybe the club management as well try to curb such activities of the
exactly, because this culture of abuse when it comes to fans, I think it's getting to its head. You know, there was a time, I think last season or 2 seasons, I think it was 2 seasons ago, where Ronaldo was still at Real Madrid then, and they were booing Benzema, and he had to motion to the crowd. He and Toni Kroos, they had to motion to the crowd not to do stuff like that. You know, you get the point that these things, that these players too are humans that have feelings. It's not cool when all of these things happen over and again. And in the last paragraph of what Xhaka says, he says, my wish is that we get back to a place of mutual respect, remembering why we fell in love with this game in the first place. Let's move forward positively together. Hopefully they move forward. That's Arsenal and Xhaka.
Yes, I expect them to just, you know, the club to manage it well. They should just manage it well.
All right, now moving to another team. I know you're stoked about Chelsea, and that's why we're previewing them on this game. It's Watford against Chelsea, and Watford are still yet to get a win in the Premier League this season. And Chelsea, unfortunately, that was in the midweek. They lost their 7-game winning streak against Manchester United. But the good thing is they have a 7-game winning streak also away from home. So against Watford, do you expect it to be super easy? Although the manager Quique Sanchez-Flores has made Watford a tougher side to beat ever since the return, especially when they're playing at Vicarage Road. But do you expect it to be super easy for Chelsea, or do you see any problems coming when you're facing Watford?
Well, I wouldn't want to use the word super easy. But yeah, it can be easy for the Chelsea side, because they have the confidence. The Chelsea side that lost on Wednesday to Man U, were not the the regular
they were not the first team
that used to play, and then has gotten the seven winning
game winning streak.
So I just want to say that, well, the Watford side are very tough in the midfield and in defense, but then I believe the regular Chelsea start, the midfield, Kovacic, Jorginho,
Emery, Abraham,
they can break into that midfield and then break into the defense of the Watford and give Frank Lampard the win.
Okay, we do something on this show, and that's you predicting what would happen. That's between Watford and Chelsea, and we're also going to actually Arsenal and that's Wolves. So let's start with Arsenal versus Wolves. What do you think? What do you see in your crystal ball?
I think Arsenal will win that game.
Okay,
they will, because Emery is on pressure. Losing the last two games, losing the last two Premier League games.
No, actually, he didn't lose. The last
he lost one and then drew one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so he hasn't
won any of his
last two games in the Premier League. But yeah, they should win that game.
What of Watford against Chelsea?
Watford against Chelsea. Chelsea will win as well. Maybe 2 goals.
I didn't expect to see anything different. Thank you so much for talking to us on the Nutmeg, Timileyin.
Thank you, Solomon. It's nice to be here.
Great. Interesting thoughts there by Timileyin. And interesting game for you to serve across Europe. We have that's Milan against Lazio, Torino against Juventus, Roma against Napoli, and Sevilla against Atletico de Madrid. Also, we have Real Madrid against Real Betis. Tell us in the comment section what game you're going to be watching over the weekend. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, you should absolutely do that right now, because we've got awesome content from Guardian Nigeria for you. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Solomon Fowe, and this has been The Nutmeg.